Hey everyone, I'm Jessica Abo and welcome back to Open Up Wednesday. Today I'm sitting down with a really good friend of mine, Valerie Weisler. And Valerie and I met when I gave a speech a year ago. You may recognize her from the first episode we did on the channel when I interviewed Tyler Oakley. Valerie was awesome enough to ask a question that we included in that piece. And today this episode is really all about her. So tell me, first of all, why you started the Validation Project, and then explain to everyone at home what it is.
So the Validation Project, I started it 2 years ago when I was in my freshman year of high school, and I was getting bullied a lot every single day, and I just kind of changed from the person I was. So one day I realized that obviously there were other kids that were getting victimized too, so I started to reach out to them and just tell them that they matter and that the words they're being called or the way that they're getting hurt doesn't define who they are, and there's so much more than that. And we started to form our own community, and life got a lot better for me and for these kids in my school, but I couldn't stand knowing that when I went home there were so many other people and so many other places that were also getting hurt, and there was no one there to catch them. So I went home one day and I started a website, and 2 years later the Validation Project is an international movement. We work with 5,500 teenagers in 100 countries, and 900 schools use our kindness curriculum. And what happens is teenagers come to us with their unique skills, and we give them mentoring opportunities, community service opportunities. They can plan international campaigns with global organizations, really just to show these kids that they matter and using their confidence to help others.
Take me back to high school. Like, what were some of the things that actually happened to you, so people truly understand like the courage it took for you to get so many people involved to make a difference in your school?
Well, I was really shy. That was my problem. And if people came up to me and asked me a question, it would take me about 10 seconds to prepare an answer, and I would just look at them blankly. And the kids called me mute. They would say that I couldn't talk. They would act like they couldn't hear me when I finally spoke up. They would call me names that probably aren't even allowed to be said on camera. And the more that they said that, the more I basically just told myself that it was true, and that why should I speak up if all these kids are just waiting for me to fail and to, fall on my face.
Did you talk to anyone at that time about what was happening?
My family just knew that I was pretty sad all the time, and they just kind of saw me fall apart, and I wasn't really the person that I used to be, who's like this very happy, peppy, constantly smiling person. It just went downhill really quickly.
So how did you get here?
When I found out that there were people who were way worse than me, and they didn't have the benefits that I had of having a positive family and a good friend group outside of school, that kind of told me that I needed to do something, and that me being shy was hard. And obviously it's a struggle that it takes a lot to get over, but sometimes you need to take a deep breath and just speak up, because there's other kids who don't know and they don't have the place to do that.
I think all of that can give so many people hope, and I hope whoever is watching this will hear your story and say, just because they may be a shy person today does not mean that they're never going to have their voice be heard, which I think is such an important message. And I think what you've done through the Validation Project, which is truly validate so many people, is something that people look to so many places to get. Tell me, how can people get involved, and a little bit more about the project?
So you can get involved just by going on our website, which is thevalidationproject.com. And if you're a teenager, you can apply to be a validator. So you send in your zip code, your interests, what things you want to solve in the world, and we partner you with a mentor. So if you're an adult, you can apply to be a mentor.
I'm an adult, in case that wasn't clear.
And then you can go online and you'll be partnered with a kid.
And I know a group of people who have seen so much of what you've done and honored you for it was the Jefferson Awards Foundation. You and I tonight are actually going to be at a gala live tweeting from their big event, and I want to totally give you the floor to tell everyone else about how amazing these people are.
So the Jefferson Awards was founded by Sam Beard and Jackie Kennedy Onassis. It was over cocktails, and they realized that there was no organization that was honoring Americans who were doing extraordinary public service acts. So they started it, and since then they've basically just been reaching out to every community in America and finding the ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things to help the world. And I got honored by them in June of 2014.
Okay, so on Open Up Wednesday, I like to talk to my guest each week about what his or her owl moment was and how it turned into a power story. What would you say that moment was for you?
For me, that was coming out as gay. I was traveling all around the United States, speaking to these kids talking with these people that were doing such incredible things and going through such enormous struggles. And I was telling them to be who they are, but then when I went home, I wasn't being who I was. I was putting on a mask every day because I was so afraid to be myself.
I would love if you could share with everyone, where do you get your power from?
I get my power from the Validation Project, from the kids and the adults that we work with, and the late nights where I'm not sleeping because I'm chatting with someone in a different country and going to speak with people. It just invigorates me every single day to keep on going. So I think I'll write that down.
That's awesome. You are just such a rock star. Where can we find you on social media if people want to follow all the things that you're doing?
Instagram, we're The Validation Project. Facebook, The Validation Project. And then Twitter, @TheValidate.
Perfect. Okay, and as I like to close out every episode, you want to do the pointing for me?
Okay, but you're going to have to, I don't know.
Okay, I'll do them. Okay, no, you do it. We'll add them wherever.
Okay.
Okay, so you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat. I think did I get all of them? Facebook,
and then you can
Instagram.
subscribe.
You can
here.
subscribe anywhere in here. But thank you so much for watching this episode. Val, you're the best. Thank you for all you do for so many people. Really, you make such a difference. We will see you here on Monday. Thanks so much for watching. And until then, later, Gators.